So the decision to close schools is creating a dilemma for working parents, especially those who cannot work from home, like our next guest, Sheila Lovaglio, who has 3 children going fully remote starting today while she and her husband have to go to work. So Sheila, thank you so much for joining us. I see you are in the car right now. How are you holding up this morning?
I'm good. I'm actually, as soon as I finish here, I have to head straight to work. So
Okay.
that's why I'm in the car.
I can imagine the struggle as a working mom. I feel your pain. So you have 2 teens in school, middle schools in the Bronx, and a daughter who's a junior in college who you went to pick up from her dorm just yesterday. So what was your first thought when you heard the decision come down yesterday afternoon?
My first thought, I kind of knew it was going to happen. So both of my children that are in middle school we're doing blended learning. But last week I decided to keep them home from blended learning. So they were already doing remote because the spikes in our neighborhood, there were just a lot of cases coming up in neighboring schools. And I felt the safest thing to do was to keep them home. So I knew it was coming. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised, however, when my daughter called me at the last minute and asked me to come pick her up because her classes ended and she had to leave.
So what do you do now? Because you say you're going to have to go to work right after this. How are you juggling this?
Oh, it's a mess. I remember in the beginning when it first started up in March, I never stopped working. And even this week, I've been working 17-hour days.
Wow.
Give me one second. I've been working 17-hour days, and then I have to come home and I have to help my son with homework. Hello?
Yeah, it sounds like an alarm is going off there. If there's
Sorry,
anything else to worry about, you got that too.
I was worried. Sorry. So I have to come home from work week and help my son with homework. My daughters are pretty okay, but my son has an IEP and he needs the extra additional help. So sometimes I'm up with him. Like last night, I was up till 3 in the morning trying to help him finish homework.
Now, your husband works long hours as well. So is there a handoff? Do you have like a grandma to come help? I mean, how are you doing this?
No, I really rely on my children to try to be a little independent. And I do rely more on my 13-year-old, believe it or not, my 13-year-old daughter, because my husband does work long hours, but he works overnight. So when I'm leaving, he's coming, but he needs to sleep because he has to be back at work at 11 o'clock. So it's a lot of juggling. It's very hard.
Can you sustain this over the course of the next few months? I mean, is this something that you're going to be able to handle, or is it going to affect your ability to actually work and be employed?
Well, I have to. I have no other choice but to do it. I'm more worried about my children's education and getting, the education they need. And I'm more worried about the kids too. A lot of people don't realize how much these kids are going through and how depressed they are getting because it's just their whole life is turned upside down.
How do your kids feel?
As a parent, as a parent and as an adult, I have no other choice but to make it happen. That's like my job.
I wanted to ask you, how do your kids feel? You just touched on it just a little bit. Did they enjoy being in the classroom for blended learning?
In the beginning, they were excited to go back to school. And then I kind of saw a change after a little while. It was almost like they were coming home and felt like, what's the point? Because they were there were 5 kids in the class. And they were on their devices while even being in the class. So they didn't really, it wasn't like a normal school setting.
Right. There is just so much change right now. Okay, I know you have to get to work. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing your juggle, your thoughts and your concern. And hey, best of luck to you. I know it's going to be tough,
Thank you so much.
but we do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.